can write a check, you can put cash in. Some people even put gambling chips in the offering plate. I'm not kidding. Because it's really giving not only to his church, it's giving to the Lord. So Dr. Lynn, would you scripture on your heart, whatever's in your heart, because you're my mentor. Do whatever you want.
The Lord shared with me the word stewardship. You know, Paul the Apostle thought very highly of stewardship of his calling and ministry. Let's pray. Let's believe, God, that our vision will even expand and extend and do more effectively than ever before. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you for the privilege of being part of this great work right here at ICLV.
And the buckets are going to go around the aisles. Go ahead and give as the Lord leads your heart.
All right. Hold on 1 second. All right, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit on notification. Increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Gonna run through these fights from last night. Real quick. First, don't forget to join the Patreon. Follow us X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. No, people talking about Usyk is pound for pound, you know, one of the best 10 heavyweights. Pound for pound, top 10 all time. I mean, Jesus, I know. The knee-jerk reaction, you start talking about some of the greatest pound for pound fighters of all time. You talking about guys like Sugar Ray Robinson, Salvador Sanchez, Aaron Pryor, Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, you can go on and on. So it's a tough list, even of a heavyweight. I mean, I don't think he, you know, accomplishments and whooping motherfuckers is two different things. I don't think he could whoop Michael Moore. I don't think he could beat Michael Spinks. So, and those two guys are not even considered two top 10 heavyweights of all time. So, just to put it in that type of perspective, when you start talking about the 10 best heavyweights, you start talking about Joe Louis, you know, Muhammad Ali, you know, Larry Holmes. I mean, you could just keep going on and on, you know. So that's no disrespect to him. It's a tough list to crack, you know. I think James Toney would give him run for his money at cruiserweight. But you know, when as far as accolades, I mean, cool. But era matters and level of competition matters. But he's doing what he's supposed to do. He's definitely an all-time great. But to say he's one of the 10, you know, pound for pound fighters of all time, you know, one of the 10 best heavyweights of all time, I would think not. But you know, just my humble opinion. But you know, if you're talking about accolades, you know, it's hard to dispute. If you're talking about whooping motherfuckers' ass, it's another question. But he's great in his era. I mean, people will point to him beating big heavyweights. Bigger doesn't necessarily mean better. He's proven that. But a hella fighter, I mean, you know, people tried to make this Dubois thing something that it wasn't. You know, this body shot. My thing is, if he couldn't replicate it in the original fight, what was making you gonna think he was gonna replicate it in the rematch? Oh, he's new and improved. I mean, he's new and improved based off what? You know, that's what you gotta ask yourself. What is he, you know, new and improved based off what? You know, beating Gay J? I mean, come on, beating another English muffin? You know, that don't mean you new and improved enough to beat the best heavyweight in the world. That's just a fucking fun fact. You know, we started talking about him, you know, since losing to Joe Joyce, had a few comeback fights. I mean, got his confidence, got knocked out in 9 this in the first time, and he, you know, had a great fight versus Jarrell Miller, beat Philip Harkovich, beat Anthony Joshua. That's a nice three fight run, honestly. But it wasn't enough to prepare you for Alexander Usyk. You know what I'm saying? In the original fight, I stand corrected. He came in at 233 and 1/4. In this fight, he came in about 9 pounds heavier. So I don't really understand, you thought he would have came in lighter for this fight. No wonder why he burnt out almost half the time, almost half the fight faster. He came in a lot more heavier. So if you're going to come in heavier, you better get the stunt. You better run through him. And he couldn't run through him because he respected the power. It's as simple as that. He respected the power. And when he respected his power, it was a wrap. That's just what it was. When Usyk was able to hurt him, there's nothing that he can do. It's not those type of fighters that can strap his nuts on and just walk through pain and walk him down. And then when he did close the gap at the end of the fight, him closing that gap was him throwing the kitchen sink before he was about to tap out. That's exactly what that meant. That's why when he closed the gap at the end of that fight, you kind of seeing him was pushing Usyk. He was pushing Usyk back towards the latter half of that fight. And at the end of the day, that just signaled him huffing and puffing. He was tired. He went for every feint. That's why he was tired. He went for the foot feints, the hand feints. I mean, the number one thing was, either, they had to walk him down or he had to take away the lead hand. You got to take away that lead hand and back Usyk up. He backed him up and got slipped. That's exactly what happened. He didn't control that lead hand. Same thing with Fundora. If you're going to beat Fundora, now that he throwing that jab, you got to control that lead hand. And then we got a guy like Fundora who not necessarily married to the jab. That's not as hard to take away Usyk's jab. You know what I'm saying? The reason why Tyson Fury couldn't really take away Usyk's jab is because Tyson Fury, don't have no left hook. If Tyson Fury had a left hook, I believe he may be the champion right now. But he didn't have a left hook from stopping, Tyson Fury from lining up that straight left hand. So, but Dane Dubois, that was their number one thing, was control the lead hand and back him up. They backed him up, all right. Backed him up until he backed him up when he knew he didn't have nothing left in the tank. So when you start talking about him bagging him up when he had nothing left in the tank, it was just him waving the white flag. But he went for every feint. I didn't know he came in heavier than the first fight. He should have came in lighter. So you're going to come in heavier. That means, you got a short period of time where you got to walk through him. And even with the extra weight, he couldn't take the punch. This is a guy who was stopped by a jab before. And the whole thing was he landed a body shot. He should have won. It had that body shot been called a body shot, and he would have got a count. Usyk would have got up and still stopped Dane Dubois. That's his character. He still would have got up and stopped him. This fight, Dane Dubois landed a body shot, a really good one, about the third or fourth round. It did nothing. Y'all read too much into things that's really not to be read into. If it was that easy to go to his body, I'm pretty sure Tyson Fury would have kept doing it. I'm pretty sure, AJ would have kept doing it. So for heavyweights, it's a little bit, harder to reach down there and go to the body. And then especially when he catching it and he's shooting it or he punching with you. And Dubois didn't punch with him. Dubois didn't, back him back while he had his legs. Dubois didn't control the lead hand. Didn't try to control the lead hand. He threw one jab every now and again. Didn't try to commit to 2 or 3 jabs. He's not mentally tough enough, and he don't have the skills to hang Jermaine. And that's simple as that. None of them guys had the skills to hang. Only guy that might have a chance is Joseph Parker, and that's because of his hand speed. But he gonna get punished too. He's gonna get punished too. So it don't matter who step up. Usyk is the class of the heavyweight division. Even at 38 years old, he's the class. He's the class. No, none of them guys can touch him. So none of them could touch him. Had he not been able to hurt Dan Dubois, maybe we having a different conversation. But the boys is huffing and puffing. What was they? Well, I don't understand what their game plan was. Was it just to walk him down and just beat him into submission? That went out the window when he punched him in the first fight. That went out the window. So, no, it was a good fight. Did he quit? Yeah, most people felt like he quit. They waved it off and he walked right to the corner. He walked right to the corner like ain't shit happened. So most people felt like he quit. I mean, I ain't in the business of saying he quit or not quit, but he got right on up after the ref waved it off and walked to the corner, and not with a limp, not with an injury. So, at the end of the day, he's just not tough. And most British fighters are not tough. Tyson Fury might be the toughest British fighter that we've seen in quite some time. But other than that, AJ, soft as baby shit. Dane Dubois, soft as a motherfucker's baby's ass. I mean, they don't, they journeymen are tough. They smaller guys are tough. They known for taking the ass, weeding the Padleys of the world, and they known for getting beat on like a stepchild. But other than that, the heavyweights are known to have the veracity of a fucking penguin. So that's nothing new. Take Barrios belts and send him to the desert. Yeah, Barrios is a disappointment. Usyk is in the top 25 heavyweights of all time, but top 10, hell no. He said Usyk's convinced Dan Dubois to fight his fight. He didn't keep going to the body. He chased the head. It was a reason he didn't go to the body. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think going to the body is easier for a guy that's what? He only a couple inches taller than him. Going to the body get you knocked out. That's why guys don't go to the body. Because you go to the body, you leave the head susceptible. It's a reason he didn't go to the body. It's a reason why these guys don't go to the body. Because you're going to get knocked out. So it's the problem. Going to the body, it sounds like it's a good plan. But till you get in there. Usyk is the best post-Lennox era, but that's about it. Now bring on Joseph Parker. Parker will give him trouble, won't win, but it's harder. It'll be harder than the public believes it. Yeah, Parker got good hand speed, but he getting beat on too. Time for Usyk to fight. Wilder's done. Wilder's done. Jay Hardaway salute. Shout out to Jay Chonic, South Africa. He said Boxer was on some BS. He lost some money, huh, buddy? Lost some money on Pacquiao, huh? He said down the banks, the boys just went out this time and took more chances sooner, doubled his pace, which is why he get that motherfucker got stopped. He got stopped. He didn't take no chances. Nigga he took an ass whooping. He got stopped sooner because he wasn't in shape. Came in too heavy. Came in about 9 pounds heavier than last time. He bit on every feint. Didn't commit to the jab. He came in heavy to try to bulldoze him, and he found out he just found out it didn't work. Usyk top 3 heavyweight of all time. That's got to be a troll. We rank Usyk and Hall, I don't know, top 20. Top 20. Now, just off acting, if you're talking about who can whoop who ass, I mean, there's quite a few heavyweights that beat the shit out of Usyk. I'm talking about guys you don't think of. Michael Moore, Michael Spinks. You know what I'm saying? When you start talking about guys like Ken Norton, Ronnie Shavers, some of them guards out there beat the dog walking shit out of his ass. You know what I'm saying? But we talking about accolades. I mean, yeah, top 20, top 25-ish. You talking about who can whoop who ass? Oh, there's quite a few heavyweights that's gonna give him some problems. I would love to see Usyk against Larry Holmes beat the shit out of Usyk. Stop playing with me. Larry Holmes would beat the shit out of Usyk. Y'all niggas smoking crack. Larry Holmes, man, had that nigga shaving his hair off in his ass. His gas tank was on E. He didn't want no more punishment. The boys quit. I saw him quit. Even in the first knockdown, he looked at his corner. Yeah, he already got $70 million for the fight. He was trying to go cash that check. PBC wasn't gonna let a 47-6-year-old Manny Pacquiao beat one of their fighters. I didn't get that. Deontay should fight Francis. I don't want to see Deontay fight again. Stop bringing this nigga's name up. He's done. Usyk is systematically took Dan Dubois' car, and Usyk is a test creator. He said PBC has a special skill of putting one of the most shitty cards on possibly, and it's consistent. Was it shitty? I ain't really paying no attention to it. I didn't watch the Cruz fight. I took a nap on that shit. But who fought before Cruz? Before that fight? Oh, Figueroa and Joet was throwing leather. Even though they robbed the fuck out of Joey Gonzalez, I seen that fight. Thurman won $8 500 parlay on the draw of Manny and Barrios. Must have knew something. Jared Anderson, he done. Which one? Jared, yeah, he done. Nigga need to go back to college. Usyk beats Michael Moore. No, he won't. No, he won't. Usyk is not beating Michael Moore, Michael Spinks. Not in no heavyweight. You out your fucking mind. You out your fucking mind. Michael Moore and Michael Spinks will, man, they will beat Usyk at cruiserweight. I think Michael Moore and Spinks jumped over cruiserweight though, but I can't really say. Man, beat the man. You out your rabbit ass mind. you think Usyk can survive with George Foreman? You think he can survive that punch like Michael Moore did till he got cracked? But Michael Moore beat the shit out of Usyk. You out your rabbit ass mind. He hit too hard. Motherfucker hit too hard. And Michael Spinks is saucy, so let's not get it tripping. Michael Spinks is saucy. Yeah, beat the shit out of them niggas. You out your mind. Usyk got an interview after the fight saying he was nowhere near top of the all-time heavyweight, so overhyping him at the moment. He don't. Yeah, he not. He know he not. He know he not. And he would be bigger than a lot of those heavyweights too. Usyk heavyweight run really makes me look at the British different. British is gone. He's dead. Motherfucker probably somewhere serving snow cones in Siberia. How do Michael Moore beat? Man, pack him up. Fuck out of here. Michael Moore packs Usyk up. He knocks him the fuck out. What are we talking about? That nigga knocks that nigga out. I still can't believe Charlo let Thurman pull his card. Charlo brother got slapped and still ain't do shit and said he wanted to model the clothes for the white boy who slapped him. Is it truly unbelievable? Hey, bro, what do you think about Turkey making the Dalton Smith-Matias fight right at the Puello fight? I thought he could have been a rematch. But fuck Puello. He a drug cheat. I don't even know who the fuck Dalton Smith is, to be honest. But I did see Matias slap fucking Teofimo Lopez last night. Smacked him like the baby back bitch he is. Tommy Morrison beat George Foreman. And Usyk is levels better than Tom. Man, George Foreman was 70 years old, nigga. You know, the only reason George Foreman beat fucking Michael Moore because he landed that right hand from hell. And that right hand from hell would have knocked anybody out, including Muhammad Ali. You get hit with that shot, including Muhammad Ali. And who knows? Who knows if Usyk can beat Tommy Morrison too? Them niggas was punching back then. You think Usyk can beat David Tua? He never won a title. You think Usyk can beat David Tua? No. I answer the question for you, nigga. No. 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 You out your rabbit ass mind. These heavyweights that he beating, all these niggas is trash. He says the whole fight weekend was great if you were a boxing fan, but I was pissed about the Bam fight being the same time as Fundora. Yeah, I didn't even pay attention to that fight. Yeah, I didn't even catch it. TL looked small when he was next to when he got slapped. No wonder why he had Matias like a fucking junior middleweight. He said they were two stopping Usyk. My point exactly. My point exactly. What are the questions that we having? But let's move on because I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. So what else we got on the menu? Oh yeah, bitch ass Gary Russell came back. I seen some of him. That one arm. Nigga, that shit was terrible. I think Gary Russell looked terrible. Nigga need to retire and just hold the mitts for his brother. Gary Russell looked terrible, bro. I don't give a fuck if he was out for a week or out for 10 years. Gary Russell need to retire. It's over with. 38 years old. All this whole career was stop, start. It's over with. You know, I guess, you know, he deserved a nice little good payday. 38 years old. I mean, maybe go out there and what is he fighting at 30? Ain't no good money at. I already called out Lamar Roach. Lamar Roach. Shakur Stevenson was a couple guys that he called out the other night. I mean, so be it, man. Whatever makes the best money. But, you know, Gary Russell done. He looked old, you know, finally moved up in weight. It's a wrap, man. Nigga need to go, you know, fold some school clothes for his kids, make them some applesauce. Tough way for Gary Russell. This nigga a prelim fighter, bro. It's a wrap. What G-Dep said, it's like Saran. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a Rizzy. Usyk beats most of the heavyweights in history. No, he don't. Man, get out of here, man. I'm about to block that guy, man. Somebody block him. Get him out of here. He said Tim Tszyu is the same guy. I'm gonna get there. David Tua was a beast. He just was in the wrong era. You put Usyk in that era, dude, nigga might not even be a champion. Gary Russell said he slapped Terrence Crawford and he would beat Crawford. Man, Terrence Crawford Gary Crawford would just beat the dog shit out of Gary Russell. Tim Tszyu literally quit. I get there. Am I the only one who feels that Gary Russell's overrated, average fighter, who Lomachenko school? Yeah, I mean, he never lived up to the expectations. I mean, I don't know if it was because Al Heyman put him in the doghouse, his arrogance, just a number of things that's going around about him. Who knows? But, you know, the heavyweights back then had feet. Absolutely. They had foots. They had foots. They had foots. They have foot. I ain't gonna lie, I'm ready to go to sleep. I'm ready to go to sleep. They have foots. He said, yeah, you know, Gary will slap Crawford while he's not looking to run the fuck out. Yeah, I mean, Gary Russell done. That nigga looked terrible. That nigga was on fighting on YouTube last night. This nigga was on the same shit I'm on right now. This nigga fighting on YouTube. Pack him up. All right, then we have Tim Tszyu last night. I told y'all he was done. Tim Tszyu was done. Y'all all knew that. Tim Tszyu done. The way he looked after Mazaliev knocked him out, you could see he was done. He was done. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, Fundora looked juiced up last night, in my opinion. I'll say that. Fundora looked juiced up last night. I mean, maybe I'm just the one that got the balls to say it today. I don't hear about them doing VADA for none of these fights on PBC. I ain't hear nothing about a VADA, nada about VADA. I heard nada about VADA. Fundora looked juiced to the motherfucking gills. In my opinion, allegedly, whatever you want to lose. I mean, he didn't look. That motherfucker looked like Superman last night. But, you know, for Tim Tszyu, you know, all he kept doing was he kept walking in a straight line. Everything Tim Tszyu was doing was a straight line. Straight forward, straight back. He landed those shots and he sat there. He landed those shots and he sat right there. Even when he closed the gap on Fundora, he kept his head on the line. You know what I'm saying? Everything was on the line with Sebastian Fundora. He didn't try to pivot. And turn Fundora, and that's how you got to fight Sebastian Fundora. You know. That's how you got to fight Fundora. You can't fight him in a straight line and moving straight back. That's what Lubin was doing, moving straight back. You got to be able to weave and step over. He that big that he can't step, he can't pivot. He can't pivot like Tim Tszyu can because of how he built. That's your best option is to pivot. You know what I'm saying? You know, Tim Tszyu keeping his head right on the line. He walking them in a straight line. He hitting them in a straight line, staying on a straight line. He not, you know, weaving in and out. And stepping over. That's how you got to do. But that motherfucker definitely was enhanced last night. That motherfucker was definitely enhanced last night. But the number one thing he had to do was control that lead hand. It is not hard to get Sebastian Fundora not the one to commit to that lead hand. That's the number one thing he should have been doing last night. Was controlling Fondora's lead hand. He makes a bunch of mistakes. But you can't exploit those mistakes by keeping your head on the line and being at the end of his punches. Either you need to be weaving in, cutting the distance in, or you need to be out of the distance, darting in and out. And Tim Tszyu don't possess the lateral movement or the head movement to do either one. The first fight, before Fundora started using the straight shots and fighting behind his jab, Tim Tszyu had a lot of success, but Tim Tszyu was throwing one shot and hoping it hurt Sebastian Fundora. In that first fight, Tim Tszyu was hurting him with those one shots. But you have to follow up on this level. He didn't change levels with the jab. He stayed on the line, didn't pivot. He was done before, man. Tim Tszyu, that's why they fought a rematch. Had Tim Tszyu look really, really good, versus, let's say the Mazzaliaf fight never happened and he just continued to look good, they was never planning on doing this rematch. I tell you that right now. This is why they passed up an opportunity to fight Xander Zayas. Because they knew Tim Tszyu was done. They knew he was finished. This was a calculated move by PBC. This is why Sebastian Fundora don't sell. No matter how tall, how big, how much of a freak show he is, how exciting his fights are, he'll never sell. He'll never sell. He'll never sell. A guy like that, you have to take him. You have to keep turning him. You have to keep feinting and turning him. He can't turn like that, I'm telling you. That's when Mendoza got him and clipped him on top of his head. You take that lead hand away, he's very, very vulnerable. That's why he got knocked out versus Mendoza. But they took this fight because they knew Tim Tszyu was done. That's all it was. Got dropped in the first round. They knew Tim Tszyu was done. This was a calculated risk. Now the running question is going around is can he defeat Jerron Boots Ennis? And Shakur Stevenson said Boots kills him. I'm not sure about that because he ain't fought nobody. But I'm not sure if PBC too keen on making that fight regardless. So I'm not sure they want to make that fight regardless. Let's keep it real. So, do Boots get the job done versus him? I mean, I ain't seen nothing in his career that showed me that, he could. He probably get knocked out too. He might knock out Fundora. Who knows? We'll never see it though. I heard he turned down Keith Thurman. So, but Tim Tszyu done. He finished. I've seen him in that Mazzaliaf fight. He was done. You can look at his face after the fight, staring at the ground, didn't know where he was at. He done. He done. His undoingly was not getting his head off the line. And Fundora would have did Errol Spence the same exact way. Both same ass fighters. Head stay right on that line. Even when they go on the inside, they hang their head over their front foot or over their knee, and they eat uppercuts and they eat punches. And he was going blow for blow. No diddy with Fundora. The next thing you know, he go to the corner and he don't want to do this no more. What the fuck is you talking about? You just was going blow for blow with him. But that's how I feel like they probably. I'm pretty sure they didn't test for this fight. I'm pretty sure he didn't test for that fight. Pacquiao, now Fundora looking the way he looked. I mean, you do the math. You do the math. You do the math. He looked slow. I mean, he looked superhuman last night. They're gonna let the others cheat. That's a fact. How did he cut down? How did he cut down to that weight, and then still maintain that frame and that strength? I'm just saying. But guess what? They signed up for this clown show. Tim Tszyu, he lost. His career was lost. Lost in the sauce when he paired up with PBC. That was it. They took him behind the bleachers, fucked him real good, You know what I'm saying? Gave him a hot dog for a glizzy for his troubles and kept him moving. He got in bed with the wrong people. And then you look around at American boxing, ain't nobody on TV no more. Not one boxing network is on TV. Not Top Rank, not PBC, or not Matchroom, not Queensberry, not, Gary Shaw, not Ludabelle, none of these dudes. Tengusen, ain't none of these dudes on TV anymore. Boxing is not on terrestrial TV anymore. The hoes fighting on the app. Shit, it look like UFC going on the app. Combat sports is being regulated to non-TV. Most people don't watch regular TV no more. Only time I feel like I watch regular TV is when football is on. So regular TV, in a way, it is dying. It is dying. But his career failure was getting in bed with PBC. They used and abused him like everything else, like everybody else. They used and abused him. He got in bed with them, and I guarantee you, he regretted it. His career's over with. He won't be the same. Sean Porter can say he could take a 2-year hiatus. He could take a 6-year hiatus. It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. But, it is what it is. But, and then, people might ask about the WBC drug testing. They say out of the 365, they might drug test you once a year. That's a joke. And they going to call until the Hispanics were in they coming, when they come in the test. But I'm just calling how I see him, bro. How I believe to see him. It ain't no ill will towards no. I give a fuck about two dudes over at PBC fighting anyway. Now I can give it two. The only reason I stayed up and watched last night, I was waiting on my girl to get off. So I can get off. Hey, that's a bar. That's a bar. So I'm like, I might as well cover these fights. I was like, might as well cover these fights. I don't even stay up that late. That's why I like the fights being on the East Coast. But then then like Ryan and Devin like go off at 1:30 or something like that. Shit is just ridiculous. He said Gary's so trash. That nigga's done. That nigga, if he talked as good as he fought, it'd be better. The boy's like a bodybuilder who can box. Dudes look stiff. I mean, Gay J do too. All that extra weight don't do nothing but make you slower. You gotta have some flexibility with that weight. Earl Ben said he was juiced up. Shit. Come on. Fundora took some clean punches and never stopped punching, never got tired. Nope. You called him Munguia too. He Flame One called Munguia a couple years ago. I think that was kind of evident though, but Fundora was eating those punches and not even flustered by Tszyu punching. But then again, Tszyu ain't the same puncher that he once was. That is when when I looked at that Mazzaglia fight, he was defeated. He retired that day. Real talk. He retired that day. That's a fact. He retired that day. That Fundora fight is the day he retired. He retired that day. He retired that day. He had a look in the post fight. He was looking at the ground like, yeah, man, he need to retire. He probably had loaded gloves too. Who knows? They let the Mexicans do whatever they want to do. He Mex-Cuban, whatever you want to call it, Mexican-Cuban. How is he getting that tall and getting down to 54? Who knows? Tim Tszyu fights like RoboCop. No head moving, no feints, no jab. Never change your levels. Always moving anti-clockwise. Yeah, it's true. Nigga said RoboCop. He said, I'd rather see Virgil Ortiz over Boots. I mean, I don't really care. Either or. Same nigga. Timmy needs to drive. No, it's a wrap. Timmy need to retire. Timmy need to go back to college. Timmy need to open a gas station. You know, Timmy don't need to fight no more. He said Boots about to fight Blair Cobbs at 54. Oh man, they say he was trying to fight Boba and Boba turned him down. But they said Boba had a debatable with Michael Fox. That's the good word. He had a debatable with Michael Fox. I missed that fight. Yep. He got a unanimous decision, but they said it was debatable. The scorecards don't say that, but they had just fought in May 17th. What card was this on? They said that nigga with Volkochuk lost that fight. Yeah, I don't know what card this shit was on. This is on a Tom Loeffler card in Commerce Casino in Commerce, California. I don't know who the main event was. It's a bunch of motherfuckers I ain't never heard of. Man, Tom Loeffler ain't shit without Lil G. Spence stops Fundora. Man, Fundora been to put Spence in the fuck. Man, Spence done. Spence is done. Spence is done. I don't know why I keep breaking his name. Spence will not be back. How Fundora weighed 152 on fight on that height, and the frame was close to mystery to me. So Keith Thurman was used and abused with him. PBC was trying to get right. WC letting them juice. He said to change the clean levels for Canelo. Them boys juiced up. All the niggas on Pez not gonna lie. Probably why Spence ain't fight him. I mean, yeah, why would you? And the money ain't right. They fight a nigga with Pez if the money right. That's been proven a fact. That money ain't right. They ain't doing it. Fundora on juice and still duck Bud. He knew Bud was gonna work them angles, bro. He knew Bud was gonna break him down. DK Black. And you know, I can say that they are dragging Boots in Philly. A lot of us are wondering why he's not stepping up, but Foden is running towards the smoke and Boots hears it. Well, Foden ain't got no choice. When you fight the lower weight classes to make money, you got to do that. So a lot of people, when they forced to do something, you ain't got no other choice but to do it, but you got options. Everybody gonna take the easy options. That's just what it is. So I don't think that surprises us none. And I think using Foden is a bad example. No disrespect to nobody involved there. But, as in lower weight classes to make money, you got to fight. That's why Gary Russell is in the position he in. He didn't want to pay his dues. He thought his shit ain't staying. He thought he was a welterweight at featherweight. No, nigga, use a fucking featherweight. Yeah, I talked about him calling out Shakun. Who cares? The Coon Bowl. The Coon Bowl is crazy. But he had Pacquiao and Barrios. I watched this last night. Barrios is a fucking disappointment. I was hoping he got knocked out when he walked out. He walked out with Mexican OT. So Barrios let you know where he stand at. He's a racist piece of shit too. So you know where Barrios stand at. He racist as fuck. But then again, they talking about they come from a certain area in Texas where saying the N-word, okay, whatever. So we know where Barrios stand at. He don't like niggas neither. We know when he walked out with Mexican OT to the ring, you know exactly where he stood at. And that's the thing about it. Like, if somebody in the black community do something, they ostracize him. Especially if he do something to another black person or black woman or black dude, they ostracize him. It may not last forever, but they ostracize him. In the Mexican community, you can say all this racist shit that you want to say about black people, that bring them closer together. They don't ostracize or call themselves out for that. Only time they really kind of say something is when you don't stay on code. When you don't stay on code, as far as Mexicans sticking together, then that's when they get mad. That's when they get mad. But as far as talking shit about niggas, yeah, so Barrios let you know exactly where he stood at. He's a racist. I mean, come on. So that when he walked out with that dude last night, I'm like, okay, I know where he's staying at. Care how nice he is. Don't forget, Pacquiao's all that Mr. Nice Guy, and then when he started quoting shit from the Bible against homosexuality, they took all his brand deals. That's why you seen him with Answers on his feet and not Nike's on his feet no more. So yeah, that's what I said, man. That's where you know motherfuckers be standing at, bro. So when I seen him walk out with Mexico OT, I was hoping he lost last night. I really did. And he fought like a bitch. And that's just be wholeheartedly. That's the problem. Barrios kind of put him in that Catterall category. Catterall, and who was the other guy that fought too nice? We was just talking about was Catterall, was somebody else that just lost the fight by being too nice. I can't even think about it. Somebody else who just lost the fight. I was like, him and Catterall is just they just fight too nice. They don't have an aggression. And that's Barrios. Barrios got all the tools to be a good fighter, but defense. Barrios got, good athleticism, good hand speed. He was a guy that started off at 126. You know what I'm saying? And he just don't have no defense. You know what I'm saying? He crouched down, he bent down, he got a good jab, he got good power, he got good speed. He got heart. He don't have no defense. He ain't got no defense. And he lacks the aggression. As nice as he is outside the ring, he's just as nice inside the ring, and that becomes the problem. He could have won that fight with his jab alone. One of the commentators said if he just throw that jab, Pacquiao couldn't get around his jab. He could have threw that jab, and it gave Pacquiao all types of fits. Could have doubled it, tripled it, threw it as a power shot. He snapped Pacquiao head back with that jab. And then he just stopped throwing the jab. He started sitting there, touching gloves with him, being nice with him. It's like they had an agreement, that you didn't want to go in there and hurt Pacquiao. It was like watching a Rocky movie. It was orchestrated. You got an old man there, didn't rip the body, didn't rip the hook. He got a good left hook, didn't rip the right hands. He was punching at the target, not punching through the target. And he was just happy to be there. Like I said before, that's the problem with Barrios. He don't got a mean streak. He ain't got that in him. He got some, y'all. Hey, boy, get your ass up out of here, nigger. Get up out of here. He got some of that in him. But he ain't got that He ain't got no dog in him. Yeah, and you better get from around here, nigger. Get from around here, boy. He got some of that in him. But he ain't got no dog in him. He should be ashamed to show his face. And they were saying during the fight, he's like, why did Pacquiao pick me? Like, let's be real, man. As men, we real with ourselves. If you ugly, if you fat, if you don't get no hoes, if you broke. You know what I'm saying? You know if you don't keep up with your appearance. We got to be real with each other. He knew he was the weakest link. He was the weakest link. That's the crew. Norman, and there ain't nobody else there no more. Boots, Norman, Devin Haney, all that. He was an atrocity, and people said, well, Tank resume getting worse by the day. I mean, are you surprised? I mean, like what I've been saying about Boots for the last year or two, what I've been saying about Tank for the last 3 or 4 years. Now people just finding out. I'm like, this there. Y'all just looking at it from a fan point of view. Look at it from a logical, honest point of view. But honestly, man, he lost that fight last night, Barrios. He lost that fight last night. He lost that fight by being too nice. You supposed to go in there and show him no respect. His corner was telling him the right thing. I know he got with Virgil Hunter to get defense. Virgil couldn't give him no defense. Too late in the game. Barrios had defense. Barrios would be the shit. They don't need defense is going into the high guard and getting beat on. But for this old man, he beat Barrios. I was like, I picked Barrios to stop him. He beat Barrios, and Barrios never took it to the next level. He never stepped the pace up. He never stepped his output up. Never ripped shit to the body. Never really stayed on that jab. Never really ripped the right hand, ripped the left hook like he should have. And when he ripped shots, he popped Pacquiao head back all night. He should have stopped Pacquiao. He should have stopped Pacquiao last night. But he probably didn't stop him because he came out with that racist ass Mexican OT. And he can keep his apology, dude. Said that in a room full of fucking soft legs. And yeah, and that black lady shouldn't have asked him that question either. GA Black salute. Okay, I read that one. He said Bekram really ruined my boy Zoo. I felt kind of sad watching that fight. Like, I ain't feel sad for no white man. Not no Australian white Zoo. I feel bad for him. Nigga, he shouldn't have got back in that fucking ring. He wanted to jump back into the ring. Bogacho was at 159. What fight was that fight at? Oh, that was a 159. Hold on, because he just fought. Let's see if we can find it. Hold on. My bad. We tripping. Here we go. Yeah, that was at 160. Yeah, it was. So he went up to 160. Mikhail Fox came in at 154 and a half. So did he just blow the weight off? It seemed like he just blew the weight off of that fight. He said, and you still lost that fucking fight? That's what people say. I didn't see it. He blew the weight off. So, I don't know. He moving up the middleweight or what? Or he just had a quick camp or, a quick fight. Who knows? She knows too. And he says, okay, shout out to Jamil. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Barrios is in the Mayan garbs, but don't like Mayates. Haha, I don't know what that meant, but they shot him. But as far as Boots, yeah, he looks crazy out here. Bokachuk struggled to solve Michael Fox style. I'm disappointed for performance. Win contentious decision. Boots, ducking Blair Cobbs. Do not want to fight anyone. Yeah, he should have fought Blair Cobbs at 47. Why not? It's been a good fight for Philly. Boots, I told y'all, man, Boots ain't want to fight nobody, bro. He talk all that shit about niggas and then, oh, no, I want to hurt T.O. or I can't want to underperform or want to hurt Devin Haney. Nigga's a fraud until proven otherwise. Turkey didn't need to validate that. We already knew that. Just look at the proofs in the pudding. Yeah, Fox won that fight. I didn't see it, but that's what everybody say. He said it was a knockdown that should have been credited to Fox. Barrios is worse than he said worse than I thought. Jay Tonic said, man, he didn't even have his balance. He looked every bit of Pacquiao is not a balanced fighter regardless. Pacquiao is one of those guys that, he fight off rhythm. So of course him getting old. He really ain't no balanced fighter. You can knock him off balance pretty easy. He's one of those guys that fight on his toes. I've been told y'all Boots wasn't like that. He said Beehive was the last real one from Philly. Bro didn't duck no smoke. What about no? Yeah, he did duck smoke. He said the softest nose target. He said smoke and mirrors. Boots isn't built like the turkey like that. Turkey exposed it. He said I need 2 tune-ups in the chopped cheese, nigga. A Philly chopped cheese, nigga. He said Boots Corner told him one thing, that brown paper bag said another. Hey, look, that motherfucker say, his daddy said, just knock him out when he fought Tucker Jen. He didn't give him no direction. Just knock him out. Just knock him out. I'm like, oh, where's the direction at? I got any questions I answer them. Barrios was taking pics the whole time, waiting for Pacquiao to punch him first the whole night. Yeah, that shit crazy. They ain't want to let Pacquiao get that Hall of Fame record. I think he was been the first Hall of Famer to win a world title. And Turkey said he directly offered Boots Mazzali the Brock round fight. And Boots said, I need to tune up and start stuttering and shaking like Michael J. Did he say that? Because he said he wasn't going to say no names about who ducked when they brought up Virgil Ortiz ducking Mazzali. He said Boots never will fight Virgil Ortiz. Texas is a very racist place. Yeah, we know that. Very racist place to be black. I learned the hard way. Shit, Texas and Florida. I think Florida was voted by the NCAACP is the worst place for black folks. Yep. We know about Texas. That's why I'll be like, how can you be a coon and you live in Texas? Shit is crazy. How can you be a coon and live in Texas? You one deep breath from going to that upper room. Real spill. The rest of the boxing schedule this year. Well, shit. I mean, you still got time before they make fights. You still got time before they make fights. You didn't be making fights on 6-8 week notice. They was talking about the Tank versus Lamont Roach fight was gonna go August 16th, and there wasn't no tickets almost a month out to the fight. So come on. Come on. Just call it what it is. Call it what it is. So that's what it is. He said, I bet if for 46-year-old black fighter Barrios would have tried his hardest to knock him out. Oh yeah, of course. Of course. Of course. You gotta understand, everybody hate black men, bro. We can ignore that. Y'all can ignore that as much as y'all want to. Even black men hate black men. Or you hate these niggas. That's just what it is. You know, you gotta call a spade a spade. Can't get mad at everybody else for hunting us and we hurting each other. Look at that Angel Reese situation. That white man said all that racist shit to him, and they ain't say nothing to that white man. But here they go, RG3, Ryan Clark, and Shaq fighting each other. It's a crazy world out here. We can't ask for respect when we don't respect each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's tough. He said just on the outskirts of Orlando is racism. Just the outskirts of Orlando is racism. Oh yeah, Ocala. I've been down there. I've experienced that. The whole Florida's racist as fuck, dude. What are we talking about? I had a homie. I think he's still locked up. I don't know where the fuck. I think he was in South Florida, and they said he robbed a place. I think he said he robbed a hotel, and they held him in a year without a court date, and then eventually just let him go. I ain't saying he didn't do it, but they had no proof that he did it. The whole state of Florida is racist as fuck. Like, come on, man. It ain't just like Ocala and Gainesville. And look, trust me, I've been to these places. You know, Panama or Pensacola, you know, all that shit's racist. All that shit's racist. The whole Gunshine state is racist as hell. And they deporting a lot. They deporting a lot of them Haitians and motherfucking Cubans and shit down there too. You think they not about to clean up Florida? Man, they about to pack you niggas up out of Florida. Turkey didn't say names, but he did say 3 people turned. He said when they brought up Virgil, I say no names. You kind of just confirmed one of them by saying that. I was listening to Sean Porter podcast. He was saying Haney will find a way out to fight. What do you think about Haney Devin saying he gonna pull out and Norman does in a row in Nevada ASAP? I mean, shit, it is what it is. You damn if you do, damn if you don't. You go through with the fight without drug testing and you lose, and he tests positive. Oh, you still lost. It is what it is. Test it. If you agree to a particular date to test, I don't think you can really walk that back. I'm not vested enough to care. They all hate Devin Haney for a reason. Whatever reason that is, I don't know. It probably got something to do with Bill. And of course, he's gonna find a way out. This man ain't showing nothing but a championship heart. If I'm Devin Haney, I do what Devin Haney want to do. Fuck the fans. I do what Devin Haney want to do. He said, why Clarissa called now Layla Ali 50 years old and fought 20 years. I can't take women's boxing. Why don't you call out Ann Wolf? Ann Wolf been and knocked her out and ate her coochie. She probably like that shit. Call out Ann Wolf. Ann Wolf probably in shape. I don't really care. It's just clout. Clarissa want to be popular so bad. That's all it is. It ain't about being the best women's boxer. She, accolades why she done that. She just looking for the clout. She looking for the bag. Let me say that more. She looking for the bag. And to me, she trying too hard. But, like I said before, she want to get the bag and start a family. So I kind of understand her urgency. Mexicans are the same as mixed colored people from South Africa. They call us Africans when they're from Africa too. Damn. Yeah, it's fucked up, ain't it? said, I don't hate black men. I respect all black people. Shout out to you, bro. Most niggas hate niggas, though. I'm pretty sure you probably Mexican. That's fucked up, though. It's fucked up, but it is what it is. He said, I seen the KKR off the highway before. Shit, man, Michigan, dude. Oh, we talking about Michigan, dude. They got some hotbeds for clantivity, bro. Real talk. Indiana's where I think it's the capital of that shit, where it started. Believe it or not, it's either Indiana or Tennessee. Truth be told, a lot of the northern suburbs has the most racist whites there, but it's bad everywhere. It's bad there, but not like Florida. Florida is racist as fuck. NCAACP, I think like last year, 2 years ago, so that's the worst place for black people. So you can't just put that jacket on. No, that's what they say. I'm pretty sure they done the statistics. I've been there. I stayed there. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it is what it is. Y'all don't feel that way, you know, because y'all living in it. He said, Coach Malachi, salute to Coach, said earlier he was told Norman signed up for VADA 365. That, like I was just saying about VADA 365, that's nothing. VADA 365 might test you once a year. No, you signed up for actual VADA test. VADA 365 is a sham. I forgot who exposed it. I think it was Victor Conti on the Boxing Voice exposed that. VADA 365, they might test you once a year. So that's not a real thing. It's not real testing compared to drug test. He said, no, I'm Mason. I'm black. I'm from West Africa. Shout out to I'm black, West African. Shout out. I don't know what's West Africa. Let me think. So that would be, is that like the Ivory Coast, or is that like Zimbabwe? I don't know. Let me pull up my African map, which I don't know what's going on here. I ain't really looked at Africa's geography in quite some fucking time. So that would be like Senegal, Sierra Leone. Depends what you mean. Like cause Southwest Africa, you know, Sahara, Western Sahara, Morocco. Because a lot of these niggas is really like, you know, when you start going into the Middle East, them niggas, they Africans. You know, let's keep it real. You know, when you start talking about Spaniards, they Africans. When you start talking about, you know, you can start getting into Asia and all that stuff, especially when you start looking at the Thai and the Vietnamese and all that, they dark as hell. They're dark as hell. Zimbabwe is like South Africa, damn near southern. It's not South Africa, but it's down in South. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But when you start looking at this map, man, like a lot of people didn't know French Montana was African. But Morocco is right on that border of where Spain is at. See? But that's in French Montana is from Morocco. When you start kind of going over to the Middle East, you know, Egypt, going over in this border, going over to Asia here. You know what I'm saying? When you start, you know, looking at Spaniards and you start looking at, you know, Eastern regions and all that stuff. Yeah. This is what they don't want to tell you. This is what they don't want to tell you. Turkey low key said a lot of them boxing with him. You call it T.O. out Kid Austin. Yeah, I seen that. Said he ain't working with T.O. Kid Austin no more. T.O. really did crash his whole career because his ex over there. No, he crashed his career because he didn't want to compete. He wanted to be a hater. Shout out to Kennard. Shout out to Memphis. He said Ghana's the Ivory Coast. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah. Where's Ghana at? Shit, somewhere in this motherfucker. You got Sahara, Morocco. Yeah, right here, Ghana. You know, where's the Ivory Coast at around here? I would assume the shit's on the coast. It's somewhere in there. Oh, Libya down there. Here you go. Trying to find the Ivory Coast. What the fuck is it? I don't know. I got to be looking over it. all this shit kind of. If this shit was one country, Africa would be a fucking powerhouse. If it was one country. Big G salute. He said I had cops called on me while walking for school on a white Porsche posh neighborhood in South Africa. Yeah, it is. They got a what is the city in South Africa that's all white? Like in Africa, it's crazy. It's all white. Egypt is considered part of Africa, the north part. Yeah, right there. Look, it connect right over to the Middle East, right? Or am I tripping? Connect right there. Got the Red Sea right here. Mediterranean. Yeah, all that shit is right by each other. All of that shit used to be together. They call it a breakup of the continents, Pangea. A lot of people don't realize how close Asia and Africa is pretty much the same land and map. It is. But then when you start talking about what do they consider Asians and Russians and stuff, then it kind of get murky. Like they don't really, some people consider the Philippines Asian, some people don't. He said Contavia is also called the Convy. Okay, I was on the slow button for a minute, so okay, so I'm right here then. Is that what we're speaking on right here? I'll pull up an actual map. See, we're doing history lesson. This nigga sleep right here. I ate a smash burger from Cheesecake Factory. My stomach hurt like a motherfucking All right, I ain't say zoom out like that. I don't know what we on here. Hold on. So yeah, right here, got Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. All that shit is right there, bro. Iraq, Iran, Turkey, Spain, niggas. Italy right there. The Italians are considered the black people of Europe. Look right here. You can make a case for the Spaniards being right here. You got the Middle East right here, next to Somalia, Yemen. All that is right. All that is right there. Greece right here. Bulgaria. Shout out to you niggas who do them Bulgaria squats. I don't know why y'all doing them unless y'all competing. When you start looking how close all that shit is, come on, look how close that is. It's called Orient. That's what it's with all white people. That's crazy. He said we came from apes. That don't mean it's true. They said we came from man fabricate statistics just like they did in history. MLK, I think he said Chicago is the most racist city he's been in, and that man experiences worse than we have it. You know, MLK. So yeah, when you start looking at it, if Africa was one country, they wouldn't have the problems that they have. We never would have been slaves in America. If you think about the history, they enslaved each other. They was beefing on the continent already, and pretty much a lot of us was sold to Middle Eastern. But I think one of the original slave trades were the Middle Eastern slave trade. They was trading, doing a lot of slave trading too. But look at their skin color and shit. They right next to them. Ain't nothing but black people. But if God came down and said, "Oh, my black people get into heaven and all this," all them niggas be claiming black. Everybody be claiming they have melanin in their skin. I bet you. He said that's the white town they all white in South Africa called Orania. Is it the province called the Free State of Farming Province? It's like Mississippi of the South Africa. That's crazy. Chicago is the most racist. I don't know much about Chicago, but when I do know about Chicago, they got a big beef, just like Southern California with Mexicans. I was listening to the brother Minister Jab talking about one of them jails that's in a real dangerous racist Mexican neighborhood. You think about Lil Durk and Lil Chief Keef and all of them be shooting and killing each other, but they got them big problems with the Mexicans. It's crazy. Why after the fight they said Usyk, who you want not? Usyk gave 3 names: Fury, Joshua Chisora. He also said Joseph Parker too. It's the other heavyweight. No, he can fight who he wants to fight. He got the title. If he want to walk away, he can fight who he want to fight. I don't think anybody have a problem with it. He's done more than his share He can fight whoever you want to go and fight. You know, Terrence Crawford, he could. It's up to him. So I don't have no problem when he fight next. You know, once you get out the way, let Iga Cabal and the rest of those guys, you know, figure it out. But yeah, let me get out of here. Appreciate y'all. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.